This is the 2022 Ford Lightning. And soon I'm gonna walk you through all the special quirks and features. Then I'm gonna get inside and give it a full driving review and give you my Chet score. So let's get to it. Ow. 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 It's a lot bigger than I thought. Can you push the button now? My knee had to cross my knees. All right, guys, I say we just go through, jump into it. Just kidding, guys. I'm not gonna do that the whole time. We'll leave that up to Doug. He's a specialist at that. This, and this. But right now, I kind of just want to go over what I like and what I really like about this new Ford Lightning. I have to say, right out the gate, it is like the perfect truck for me. I know there's some guys out there that are gonna bash it for range and the towing and all that other stuff, but that's really not what I think these trucks are designed for. And I don't really think the light duty trucks are really designed for that, period. I think what you really need is like, you know, a big diesel, a Duramax, a Ford Power Stroke or something. So this kind of in the category that it's kind of fallen in. I really think that they hit it out of the park, and it's so much better than, I had a Raptor before. I had an F-150 Raptor. I've had another F-150. You know, all normal trucks, they're all great, but I think they just kind of went to another level with this, and I really love it. So right now I'm kind of showing you my favorite feature. The other day I literally went to the grocery store just to try this out. My daughter was like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm so excited. I can actually put like groceries and normal stuff in the front. So the front here is really, really neat. So it's huge, as you guys can see. Put all the golf clubs, all the crap you want in here. You also have another panel here where I'm leaving my charger. But the cool part is it has a drain right here. So I actually had some water in here and it actually spilled and it drained right down in there perfectly. So that's really nice function. You can pull that out. You can throw other stuff in there. You also have like the huge power plugs here. So you're gonna have all the 120 that you need. You have a USB-C, you have a USB. You can jump another vehicle from, there's a panel over there you can pull off. I've been driving with this truck for, let's stop beeping. It does have a few beeps, which are not my favorite thing. I've been driving with this truck now for about 300-400 miles, and every mile more I drive, I really like it. It gets better and better. There's other people like Doug that have done like full reviews of this vehicle that show you all the special quirks and features. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna walk you through and show you what it feels like for a person who I feel is fairly average with a truck buyer, where I'm gonna use the truck, I'm gonna use the bed, I'm gonna use the weight, I'm gonna use the towing, running around town and stuff. But I will say I do travel long distance sometimes with a little bit heavier load, like a vehicle or a RZR out to the dunes. And this is not really the truck for you. This truck right now is great for in town. Your range is gonna be about 150 miles, I think, towing a heavy load. And that's at least what the dash will tell you. And I think that's fairly practical. I think that's what you usually get with a normal truck. But the problem is, if you're gonna be traveling long distance with a trailer, think about charging at a charge station when you have a big, huge trailer, a 35-foot trailer on the back. You have to disconnect and then pull over to it. How are you gonna do that? Those are those little things that I don't think people have really worked out yet. So they're gonna really have to like cater to the towing world out on the road to get those things to work right and to get a vehicle like this usable for long distance towing. But until then, run around town, load up the back. I think it's perfect. So I'm a new Ford owner, really. I mean, I told you I had some other Fords, but I didn't have some of these features. Full electric tailgate. I don't think you really need it. The thing weighs literally super light. But one of the cool things is it also has this for us old men, which is nice when we're out in the woods. You can imagine the rest. You don't want to. But the cool thing is that you could also use this as a step. So I really need it. My knee is still messed up. I think a lot of older guys have messed up knees, messed up backs. This is my #1 complaint about a big truck is it's so big and looks great, but the practicality of it is terrible. I actually had a 2-wheel drive F-150 before this, and I loved it. It's a lot lower, it's a lot easier, it drives better. You can get around town, you know, in and out of grocery stores, stuff like that. Also, it has this random 48-inch measuring stick here, which is in inches, or what I like to tell the ladies that this is also inches, but yes, that's 10 inches, honey. And I heard everybody loves outlets. So we got more outlets. You have your basics, right? And then you have your big boy. And honestly, I was thinking it would be nice. I mean, if you're out working on a job site, you could have your welder in here. I'm pretty sure it's rated up to, I mean, it's a 240. It's got to be 40, 60 amp. They're touting the fact that they can run a house for 3 days. I'm pretty sure that's going to be pretty powerful socket there. So you probably can run your welder, no problem. Any other bigger tools and stuff, your dryer, you know, washing machine out in the woods, I guess. You know, for a $100,000 truck, because that's basically what this is as the Platinum, are those guys really out here cutting and sawing and using all this stuff? I don't know, maybe to plug in your projector, your cabin to show a movie on the side of the mountain. I don't know what you would use this for. If you are buying these $100,000 trucks, which I think is absolutely insane, especially when the base models come in at 40,000, which is really nice. I mean, it's following the levels of the normal gas engine, so the price point is right there. I mean, that's incredible. But I think as an overall, I just think they're super overpriced. When you can get the same truck for 40, 50,000, and then you can pay 100,000, and it's just extra stuff. It's, for me, it's just not that practical. So that's because it's too heavy to pick up. So the suspension actually is really unique. I found a lift online, and it's just a spacer. It's basically a leveling kit. It's like a 2-inch lift, and you can get up to like 34-inch tires. Trust me, I'm probably gonna go there. With the Platinum, you drop about 20 miles of range, and they're saying it's probably just because the rims and tire package is bigger, it's heavier. It's my least favorite thing about this truck. I mean, they're horrible. I was thinking maybe I could spray paint them black, and then there's like a big black disc. There's got to be a better design that is a compromise between something like this and an aftermarket rim. I will say, one thing that I have, being an experienced electric car owner, you can see the other clips of my experience with that electric car, is with the weight that's so low on these things, it makes them drive so nice. Everybody talks about the weight, but the weight pound for pound does not compare. When you have a 7,000 pound truck, a 7,000 pound truck, or you have a 5,000 pound Tesla compared to a 3,500, which is in reality, they say 3,500, it's like 4,000 pounds if you put it on a scale, especially with you in it, it's over 4,000 pounds. All the weight's up high, the motors are high, all those things. So when the weight is down low, it makes the drive so much nicer. They handle so much better. These ones feel like, I think they're a little bit higher. They're not as low for clearance, but it's still the same concept. The weight is down low. So I really like that. Other than that, it's just a Ford F-150 truck, basically. They retrofitted it, and I think it's kind of brilliant. It's a good gateway into the electric stuff. It's not over the top looking. It doesn't look like the Tesla truck, which I think looks hideous. I'm gonna wait till I see it in person, but like the BMW front end that they put on them, I can't stand them still. I think they look terrible. I don't know if we're ever gonna like them. This one is a good compromise for us normal truck guys. It's just like a good looking truck, and I think it's very handsome in the front. And this actual color is like a charcoal. It's got a little blue to it. I actually really like it. I didn't have a choice. It's the only one they had, but I really like it. So this is your normal charge port. But the cool thing here is it actually has a digital, and it'll show you how much you have. So when you come and grab it to go pull it off, you can immediately see, did I get a full charge today? Or maybe it didn't charge, and you know what you're putting up with. It also has this ability here. There's other chargers that have a different port, so that's like all built in. This, I have no idea. This is like from the 90s. Like who's still doing this? Because you lose your keys all the time. Every other day, you're like, where are my keys?
It works so good.
All right, guys, so this is the interior. This is very Tesla-ish. I mean, they're the leader in that whole big screen game. You have another screen here, but as you see, it's like really retrofitted from a normal F-150. It's good because it's not dramatically different, so you're not driving this thing that's like so far out there. It's kind of an upgrade in the Ford line. So Ford people are really gonna love it, where they already know where all their buttons are. They know how to get into it. Now the infotainment system, I'm sure, is new, and this is a whole different thing. But for me, it's pretty simple. You just go right in, and you have your truck command, all your different stuff for your truck here, general, driver's assistance, which I immediately turn all off. And then you have, that was your settings. And then you have your controls here. And then you can go into sport mode, which I wish it would just stay there every time it asks me, you still want to stay in sport mode? Yes, I want to stay in sport mode. You have all these cool cameras, which is nice. But I'm assuming this really will come on every single Ford that's out there right now. Moving on here, you have this really cool feature here. They've shown this in other things. You can drop that. Now I can eat my Sonic and my full lunches when I'm on my job sites. But I just thought that was cool. I actually went to the DMV today and I had all these titles and all this paperwork, and I actually did exactly this. I used it and it was really, really nice. I kind of wish you could just drive with it. I mean, I don't know why we have a big, huge selector here. All you need is buttons. This is not a drive-by cable system. It's literally just a big, huge button. Maybe to feel more comfortable with the traditional Ford owners, to give them a handle. But I highly even doubt you need this in the normal F-150s. It's just like an old school thing that they're still giving to you. So you have this big, huge controller here. Plenty of storage here. I can fit at least 10, 15 guns in there, minimum. That's how I rate my storage compartment size. And then you can put your coins, because we all have coins now. I don't know if am I the only one that, like, when people like give you the coin, you're like, I don't need the coins? Is that rude? I say it every time. I don't need the coins anymore. I feel good because the kid, well, shit, they're making like $18 an hour now. But I'm like, hey, here's the extra 75 cents. Add that to your hourly, man, you just got a raise for the last hour. One thing that I didn't get is that a chip shortage, and it was with the seats. The seats have this ability to articulate something else. I don't even know. I got a $300 credit. And as you see, I don't have that adjustable seat back here. This is why I got this truck, actually. The guy got it delivered and it didn't have the cool seats, and he didn't want it. He said he's still gonna wait. So luckily, I found out about this truck through another friend of another friend, and lo and behold, they sold it to me for sticker price. So this price was $93,000, $91,000, $92,000 MSRP, I think. Out the door, it was like $104,000. And that's kind of what they're charging for the Lariat, which is the lower model below the Platinum. So I thought that was pretty good. You know, at least I got it for sticker. All right, guys, so we're setting off right now. I've been driving this for a couple days now. I have not charged it. It's a 193-mile range. I've been driving in normal mode, and when you get the Pro or the Lariat, you have actually a 320-mile range. In this vehicle, it's the Platinum, you actually have about a 300-mile range. I looked it up. I couldn't really figure out why, other than the rims and tires are a little bit bigger, and that really does affect these electric vehicles. It comes down to weight and aerodynamics. One interesting fact, though, is Ford is saying that your range is not affected by payload capacities. I find that hard to believe. But the one amazing, most believable part about this is the real range. With this one, I've noticed in the last 300 miles or so, it actually underestimates your range. So when I charged it up for 300 miles, I started driving, and I've been watching my actual mileage. I put 100 miles on the vehicle, and I only used 90 miles of range. I thought that was really interesting, that it actually overestimated, or underestimated, I should say, the amount of range that you should have, and then what I actually got was better. I'm so accustomed to auto manufacturers lying to us on that, and then you have to drive it in the most special, fuel efficient way to even get that. It's not really attainable. If you guys know me, you've ever ridden with me, I'd say every single time I go out for a drive of more than a mile or more, I probably floor it at least once. That's usually to pull out or pass a vehicle or do something. It's just the way I drive. So definitely insurance, if you're watching, tune this one off. Don't watch anymore. This is not a stunt. I'm just driving on public roads. But if that is a testament to anything, like, I feel like I'm a fairly normal driver, if not a little bit less fuel efficient driver, and I'm getting that kind of range. That's incredible to me. Again, goes to why I think this is almost the perfect truck, especially city truck. A lot of people out there, they're never going to really tow with their vehicle. The odds are, and the percentages in America are like 70% of people, I think, buy a truck because they are gonna tow at least once per year. Now, how far they're gonna tow, what they're gonna tow, who knows what that rating is. But then it says like 35% are gonna tow more than, are gonna tow more than once a year. That's pretty incredible, that you're really not towing that much. So all the big negative energy that's been coming out about Ford in this vehicle is about how terrible the tow range is, and it's not ready. It's just a terrible truck to buy. They're talking about a simple stat that most people are never going to even tap into. I will, like I said before, never travel long distance and tow with this vehicle. That's not what I'm liking about it. I'm liking the 90% every day, run around, throw tires in the back, go to the tire place, go throw some tile in the back. Whatever I'm up to, I can use the truck for the truck. Now I have a frunk, and let's just say I decide to drive it underwater. Can you imagine the amount of weight I can put in this thing to make sure it sticks to the 10 feet under? I'm gonna put it in sport mode, and we'll do a 0 to 60 right here on a private road. These are all CG'd affected, so we're actually on a private road by ourselves right now. And you can probably just time. I'm not going to power brake it or anything. I don't think it has that feature. The really funny part, now it's pulling really strong, is that the front wheels break loose. It's very similar to like my Tesla when it was not functioning properly and it had no traction control. There is a power indicator on the dash, which I think I'll tap into here. We'll do another launch and let's see where that power distribution goes. I'm gonna guess it all goes to the front again. Ooh, not bad. A little bit better. All right. So it just let it break loose a little bit longer. I'm sure if we have good traction, probably get a little bit better 0 to 60 time. I did not look at my dash, so you guys will have to tell me if all the power went to the front. I'm gonna guess that it does. I do feel a little torque steer when you have a front wheel drive vehicle and you have a lot of power. You can feel it kind of pull. That's what torque steer is. And you can actually feel that in this truck. Okay guys, I'm gonna get on the freeway now and we'll kind of do a full pull here and run it up to 100. See how quick. That was 45. You can really feel the torque roll off. There it is to 100, which is a lot faster than a normal truck. I'd say it's twice as fast. I've never driven the TRX. That's more of a side-by-side, Leo's division over there in Michigan. But I'm guessing they're really, really strong. I think they're 800 horsepower. They gotta really pull strong. I have not seen anybody race one yet, but I'm sure if you look online, somebody's done it. I would say this could probably hang with it, no problem. It's extremely powerful. Now, try to put it in the Blue Cruise mode, and let's see what it says if it gives us the option. Blue Cruise on, watch the road, prepare to resume control. Okay, so the great thing that I love about the radar cruise control, guys, is that you can set it up to 100 miles an hour if you want. It's only gonna track as fast as the person in front of you. Like I thought, it makes you hold the wheel. I don't understand that it says online that it's a hands-free system for cruising on the highways, and you don't really need your hands. But every time I've tested it, I have to put my hands back on. But like I was saying with the radar cruise control, it's fantastic in traffic and everything else. I can just sit behind this vehicle in front of me. I can set my distance here. Down here you can see. Now it'll let me get closer. That's as furthest, that'll actually hold me way back. That's where it defaults, and that's where I kind of like it. So now that everybody's cleared out of my field of view here, the car, it'll speed up to 72 and just kind of lock in there. Blue Cruise 2 was an interesting thing. Like, I didn't even realize that it even existed. I didn't know what the term was when I purchased this truck. So I'm assuming you're gonna get that in the newer Fords as well, gas and electric. So right now, let's we'll try cruise control here. And I'll set it. So it indicates up here with the blue cruise hands, and it wants my hands on. Let's see. It's gonna hold me in lane. All right, so I'm 90% sure this is the Blue Cruise mode. It's talking about only on certain highways in the country. They're expanding that every day, but it specifically talks about being hands-free. So I know it does drive well hands-free. I don't think it's gonna allow me to stay in hands-free. Let's see. it always wants my hands on the steering wheel. Let's see what happens when I don't listen. So if I don't resume control, what's it gonna do? Oh, did you feel that? It juked the brakes on, it's juking the brakes. Dude, why did it just call 911? Okay, now it's just like stopping. My driver's dead. Oh, it was false alarm, false alarm. Oh, I didn't know where you went, bro. You took your hands off the wheel. I didn't know what was happening. Oh, you don't sense me in the seat? You don't see me with the camera? Overall, let me talk about how nice and quiet this truck is. It rides really nice. It's got the independent suspension, and it's super quiet. As you can hear in here, I don't even know if I need my microphone. You guys are gonna be able to hear me really well, even through the terrible GoPro speakers. This thing is super quiet. It's not a normal sounding vehicle on the inside. It's actually very calming and a relaxing place. I don't know if that's good when you're driving tired, but as you can see, if you have your lane keep assist on, it's gonna start freaking out if you're not paying attention. So I will say that is one of my favorite things, is just how quiet the vehicle is and how nice it is to drive around town. I am an SUV guy. I am a car guy as my daily. I don't like really low cars, obviously. You know, dropping down into the Viper is a pain in the butt, or if you have big bucket seats and sliding over those is a pain in the butt. But literally, if you're in this truck, it's not really that high. They're not lifted from factory too high. And you can run around town. The weight's really low in it, like I was talking about. It feels very SUV. It feels very nimble and quiet. And I am seriously considering just getting rid of the SUV and driving this as my daily, really getting the best out of it, you know, before I take it underwater. All right, guys, so the number one thing I think I get from other people when they ask me about this truck, or they've asked me about other EVs, is like, how fast does it charge? Let's compare this to something we use every day. It's your cell phone. Your cell phone, we care about how fast it charges, but they charge so fast now with the big chargers at night. We plug it in, it's charged within a couple hours actually, but we just plug it in and that's our nightly routine. I think vehicles are gonna become that exact same thing. We're gonna come home and we're gonna plug it in. The great thing about this truck though is I can go days, I could probably go a whole week if I'm just running around town and not have to charge it one time. I can just forget about it, and I still have 160 miles range, and I've driven 160 miles so far on this one charge. I'm gonna try to go all week with this charge and really run it down. But I think what you're gonna find is it is so much better than running to a gas station and stopping and getting fuel. The whole range anxiety will still be there for a lot of you new guys, but I think after you like really have it in your hands and you're using this electric vehicle system, it's incredible. They are perfect. And that's just my opinion. I'm not a big guy that loves EV for all the environmental and all the other political twisted crap that they try to throw at you. I'm just a guy using it that uses trucks, and I'm really enjoying it, and I'm saying that it might become my daily, and that's a big deal for a truck. All right, guys, so that's it. That is the review of the Ford Lightning. Now, I have put out some questions to you guys on my social media and said, what should I do next? And I think what I'm gonna do next now is tow this boat around town, and let's kind of see what the range really is. You've also said to jump it. I think I got a place for that. And drag race, I got a few trucks right now that are current that I think are pretty quick to go drag race. I gotta go hit my buddies up. And I just want to see tug of war. So anybody out there that wants to do a tug of war. But if you guys have any other cool suggestions, right after you subscribe to the channel, make sure you put in the comment like kind of what you think would be funny, what you think would be cool, how we can really test this thing. I have a really crazy test coming up in spring. You guys have to wait for that. But other than that, you know, I'm really open to hearing what it's all about. So this was the Ford Lightning review by Uncle Chet.